Hey guys, it's Mary and welcome to a new Sims 4 story that I'm planning to play with the Sims 4 Loves Struck pack, which is going to be coming in a few days. So this will just be set in olden times, and I have actually taken the liberty to just squish all olden eras together because that really gets confusing to me. I often mix it up. And yeah, this will contain supernatural elements anyway, so don't really expect any historical accuracy. This will just be according to me. So let me just introduce you to our sim because nestled within the lush rolling hills of the English countryside stood the grand and imposing Hastings estate. It was a place of tradition, valor, and honors, values upheld by the Hastings family for generations. So, the head of this family, Sir Richard Hastings, had actually perished in a valiant battle against the northern invaders, leaving his legacy to be carried on by his three sons and only daughter. So his first son and heir is William, who inherited his father's commanding presence and sense of duty. So William is a seasoned knight known for his unwavering dedication to the crown and his unmatched combat skills. And he was actually able to defend the crown in some war. In the war his father died in, he was declared as a hero who was shipped off to another one as soon as it was done. And in his absence, Thomas was asked to be in charge, but despite being a good brother, he would rather spend his time on the brothels. So yeah, and the third is Edward, who is the youngest of the members of the brothers. I mean, he has a wife that he's estranged with, and yeah, he was shipped off to God knows where. I mean, he shipped himself off to God knows where with his trusted friend. So, yeah. And we have Lady Celestina Hastings, a young woman of grace and intelligence who found herself the protected sister of her brothers. So she loves the books her brothers bring her about the stories of their travels, and she even favors the plants that they have in the back of their house. Yeah, garden, that's the word. But the thing that she loves the most of all is freedom. Before her father died, actually, may God rest his soul, he was really adamant to marry her off to some lord with the wealthiest coffers. So when he died, when she was just 16, she begged her brothers to give her freedom, to give her a choice, and thankfully, they complied, even if they were afraid that she was gonna be turning into a spinster. So while her friends popped a baby or five, she remained unmarried and also content, like pretty content. Thus, she woke up today feeling happy as always, just like any other day. But today is particularly special because she had gotten permission from Thomas to explore, outside the estate. She pleaded that she just has to see the seamstress for her dress and to see the new ones at her shop. And I'm actually inspired by Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, and Bridgerton, and so many aspects of this LP. So, yeah, it's like a combination of those three. This right here is Treya Rolf, her maid, and this Treya, this Treya. This, oh my gosh, yeah, Treya actually took care of her ever since she was a baby and had dressed her in a green gown. She offered to braid Celestina's hair also because they found it unruly, but our girl preferred her hair down for today, even justifying that she doesn't have to make her hair all prim and proper because she's not even gonna go to a ball. She's just gonna go out to the city and explore. There's no need for all of this. And oh my gosh, my girl really looks like Alicent Hightower or Merida, depending on what you see. But I really just like the orange, not orange, but like the red hair and like the green dress combo. I think it just looks really good. It's something very beautiful about it. But here we go. This is the breakfast that she's gonna be eating. And of course, no one will be joining with her because her family is not with us right now. They're all off to do whatever they wish to do with their lives. And thus, that leaves her right here alone eating breakfast. But I don't think she would complain. I mean, look at this. It looks so amazing. And I don't know if this is like breakfast accurate. I'm not rooting for accuracy, you see. But maybe, hopefully, this breakfast makes sense. Though we've got chicken, pie, rolls, and some vegetables like asparagus. And then we've also got this pork, this meat, like sausages and stuff. And she is quite done. You don't have to do that. Honey, honey, where the oh my god. Oh my god. There's something deeply wrong about this. You really didn't have to do that, but okay. Let's pretend this did not happen at all. I listened to myself and I realized my accent is too Filipino for this. But after eating, she made her way to the courtyard where the guards and her personal maids were waiting. And these are the guards that are ready to escort her to the city. They asked her if she was prepared, and she is. She wants to make haste as she does not want to keep the seamstress waiting. So I'm continuing this now because yesterday the power went out because of the rain, and actually it's still raining today. But yeah, we're back, and with her guard stationed outside and Shreya by her side, they soon arrive at the seamstress shop. Well, she's not really a seamstress. She's more of a, what do you call this? Like a shop owner. And her name is Margot. Margot was also so shocked to see her. Like, she looks so taken aback that Celeste begins to wonder why. After all, she is just here to sightsee and look at the fabrics and designs that she was told to be arriving today. So Margot's expression faltered and she glanced nervously around the shop. That's when Celestina followed her gaze and noticed that the displays looked eerily familiar. The fabrics, though still beautiful, were the same ones that she had seen on her last visit months prior, and the designs had not changed, which Celestina thought also was unusual. Like, Margot, she's just that girl back in that era. That girl who always had the newest styles and the finest materials. She was not late when it comes to fashion trends. Oh my gosh, what is wrong with this rain? So that's when Celestina said that she just couldn't help but notice that the clothes have not changed since her last visit. Like, her girl has no filter, and it's not like the esteemed shopkeeper to not have the latest fashions from different countries. So said shopkeeper, she swallowed hard and explained that the latest shipment of fabrics was delayed and she had trouble acquiring new dresses as well, and she just didn't want to worry anyone, so she didn't say anything. But it's been challenging keeping up with the demand of the ton. I'm not sure with what's the word for town during that era or whatever era that we're having right now. And although with hesitance, Margot asked if she would be able to speak to her brothers on the merchant's behalf, especially as there is a matter of pirates as well. Yep, pirates more active along the coast. The reason why the shipments were delayed in the first place is due to one of the ships being attacked and ransacked. So the fabrics and dresses that were expected were of course lost. And yeah, pirates indeed are a problem, but Celestina lives far enough to never encounter such issues, so this is kind of new to her. But still, it is a grave news, and she would surely write to her brother about this. That is if Thomas, her brother, her good-for-nothing brother, although she loves him very much, he is still good for nothing, perhaps he would be of help still. This is like my third day of filming because I'm just so busy, but as soon as Celestina got back from the town, she headed straight to the dining hall, and I'm sorry if my voice sounds weird because I just woke up, and her mind is racing with questions and strategies to counter the pirate attacks. So the large oak table, as you can see, was already laden with a feast prepared by the castle's skilled cooks, the savory aroma of pie, the rich scent of stew, and the sweet fragrance of trifle filled the air and momentarily distracting her from her worries. So she took her seat and allowed herself a moment of respite, knowing that the coming hours would be filled with intense planning. Girl, you do not have to do that. Put it down. Okay, this is not. Yeah, okay, so put it down because the maid who is like standing next to you on your chair where you're supposed to be right now is going to clean that up for you. So Thomas would probably arrive in the morning, giving her time to formulate a strategy tonight. It's just that she would not stand idly while her people in lands were threatened, so they would restore order and ensure the prosperity and safety of all people under their care. But right now, she intended to just enjoy this feast. But as she ate, her mind continued to work, and piecing together what she knows about the pirate threat is what she did. So they just needed to understand the pirates' motives, their numbers, and their locations. Perhaps they have maybe like a hidden cove or a sympathizer in nearby towns. She would just have to gather intelligence and strengthen their coastal defenses. And as expected, Thomas would not come home that night. He was still probably in the company of his many women, enjoying the luxuries of the city, and it did not matter though. Celestina was determined to take action herself. So, in her private chamber, lit by the warm glow of a single candle, Celestina sat on her desk, a quill in her hand, and a parchment spread before her. But just pretend this is a parchment and a quill because I did not actually download the override just yet. So just imagine she dipped the quill and began to write, her thoughts flowing onto the paper with clarity and purpose. Because a girl, she is that girl. And first, she outlined immediate steps that they need to take, like increasing patrols maybe along the coastline, offering rewards to people who have valuable intel, like increasing protection of traveling merchants, and probably reaching out to neighboring families to help them against this pirate threat. So Celestina paused, looking over her list. It was just a solid plan, but she knew it would really require resources and cooperation from everybody. So she just hopes that her brothers would listen to her. And the hours passed. Celestina's parchment was filled already with plans and strategies. And when it was already like about 12 in the evening, in the morning, she had all her strategies ready. And it felt like it was just a brief moment of rest when she noticed an odd smell. The scent of smoke wafted underneath her door, so her heart quickened and she felt a surge of alarm when her maid, Shreya, burst through the door, her face pale and eyes wide with panic. With a trembling voice, I know it doesn't sound like it, she whispered that pirates are here and the castle is under attack. So Celestina told her to calm down and say exactly what she had seen. So Shreya said that she had heard him. About 10 men breaking into the treasure room or something, and the guards had fought them off, but they're setting fires and attacking the guards. So Shreya said that she just escaped because of Sir Joffrey. He fought bravely, but then a cruel man had put an axe on his head, and he's dead. So, that sends them off to a panic because he's the best fighter on this house. And if there was someone who was able to defeat them, then they are the medieval equivalent of cooked. And Treya said that they're probably after your family's treasures. But she couldn't care less about that. She wants to be alive, for God's sake. It was a mystery to her how the pirates had managed to get so far inland and breach the defenses of everyone, basically. So dawn comes closer, at least that they have that for them, but the immediate threat is also growing closer as well. It's looming closer. So Celestina's mind was filled with questions. How had the pirates navigated the river, avoided detection, and orchestrated such a coordinated attack? Like, she knew she needed answers, and quickly. Or not, because they have no time. This evil man had already found them. So in a state of panic, Treya says that that's the one who had killed Sir Joffrey, and Celestina's heart pounded in her chest as she tried to stay calm, and the pirate's eyes really glinted with malice, like his face twisted into a cruel smile, and Treya's whispered warnings echoed in her head like she just had to think quickly. Treya's attempt to pass Celestina off as a maid, because she addressed her kind of like a low-born. The fine fabric of her dress betrayed her true identity. So the pirate took a step forward, his boots thudding heavily on the wooden door, and Celestina really says that we hide nothing. The estate has been plundered, there's really nothing left. There was no treasure here, at least none that would satisfy a pirate's greed. The pirate chuckled. It was dark and ominous, and it just sent shivers down their spine. The pirate said that lies won't save you, girl. We know there's more, and we're going to find it. Celestina swallowed hard, so her mind was really racing. She just needed to find a way to protect herself and Treya, but how? She had no weapon, no means of escape since the sky is blocking it, and the pirate's menacing presence filled the room, making it hard to think clearly. So she asked the pirate to stay back. her voice growing steadier, and I don't know if she's just really unfamiliar with situations like this or she thought the world of her brothers, but she said, "My brothers are going to come for you, harm us, and they will have your heads. It's like they won't rest until every last one of you is dead." So the pirate's eyes flickered with interest, a mischievous smile curling across his face, and he stepped back, seeming to consider her words. He asked her, "Your brothers, you say? They must be really powerful men to inspire such confidence in a young lady like you." And so Celestina's mind worked furiously. She needed to convince him that her threat was real and that her brothers were a real force to be reckoned with. So she said yes, she agreed firmly. She said that the pirates won't really stand a chance against her brothers, so they would have to release her now, and maybe they will be shown mercy. But the pirate just laughed, a low, rumbling sound that sent chills down her spine. He said, "Mercy? No, no, no. Here's what we're gonna do. After all, your brothers, they're gonna do anything for you, won't they? They'll probably give anything to see you safe." So Celestina's heart sank as she realized where he was going. The pirate's eyes gleamed with a new idea, a plan forming in his twisted mind. He said that yes, they would, which means you are worth more alive than dead. Just imagine the ransom that your brothers would pay to ensure your safety. Treya, she's just clutching her head all the time. She really didn't want Treya to use that "I will get my brother's" card, because she had just unwittingly given the pirate exactly what she wanted, a powerful bargaining chip. And the pirate's smile grew even more sinister as he slept closer, his eyes locked on hers. But Treya really wanted to keep her safe, so she told Celestina to go by the window, and then that's when the evil man had punched her on the stomach, and it was a punch hard enough for her to pass out, unfortunately. And she struggled, but it was no use. He was just far stronger, and he also made her pass out too. Downstairs, when all of the pirates had gathered, everyone had looked confused, but all really their leader said was that she must be unharmed because we need her in one piece. So now she was being taken as hostage, a pawn in a pirate's game. So Celestina's head throbbed as she slowly regained consciousness. It's just that the smell of fish and salt water had filled her nostrils, mingling with the damp, musty scent of the jail cell, and she opened her eyes, squinting against the light filtering, and the cell was cramped and cold, she noticed. And as she sat up, a wave of nausea had hit her, and she felt bile rising in her throat, and she swallowed hard, like really fighting the urge to vomit, but the gentle rocking of the seafloor beneath her confirmed her worst fear. She was on a ship, and the motion was making her seasick. And for a moment, there was no one but her in that tight space. But then, suddenly, footsteps approached, and a figure appeared by the end of the corridor. It was the pirate, the one who had captured her, and she thought that she knows the face of the devil too well. But Celestina just glared at him. Her fear was replaced with anger as she demanded to be let go because they had no right to keep her there. But the pirate only chuckled and told her she is free to go if she knows how to swim, because they're in open water right now. And Celestina really threatened her that her family is going to find her, but the pirate only shrugged, unbothered by her threat, and even told her that she needs to be comfortable, because it might take a while. And with that, he turned and walked away, leaving Celestina alone in the cold, damp cell, and she sank down to the floor with her mind racing as she wanted to find a way to escape to get back to her family. But how? And so you guys, I hope you liked this very first episode. Oh boy, I don't know, I just thought that this was just very easy, but script writing and writing the entire story, it just takes so long. But I enjoyed every second of it, so yeah, if you did too, please give it a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye bye!